Yo, yo, yo. Beep, 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 beep.
So this thing said you said yeah, yeah, baby.
That's not what I said.
I know it's not what you said, but that's what the caption said
That's
you
funny.
said.
That is hilarious. Once again, welcome to the coffee break.
Once again.
Once again, in the place to be. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Sharon.
Nice for you to join us today for the coffee break.
Is there something
Man, what
wrong
if
with you
what
this
if I was
morning?
like a jingle singer dude? Like you know how on Jamie Foxx he like developed jingles. I'm finna work on that.
Good morning, Narette.
Good
Tommy, are
morning.
you feeling better?
I'm feeling fine.
Good.
Feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? You. I just
Good
want to
morning,
know.
Danny. Thank you.
Good morning, Danny. What'd she say?
She sound like the intro.
Oh, thank you. I put a lot of work into that. I did. It was filmed back in like March or April.
Oh my God. I think I have my voice is back at like 87%.
What?
I said I think my voice you couldn't hear me and read.
Nah.
Said I think my voice is back at like 87%.
Man, you want to know something that's funny, guys? For a long time, Artiga didn't think I could read. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Good morning, DJ.
I
she
tell
straight
no
up,
lies.
she straight up said, "I don't know if you can read or not."
I tell no lies. I did not know if he could read.
Oh, that's just hilarious.
I was like, they just giving out valedictorianships to
Yeah,
people.
no, I earned it, but yes,
Cause my goodness.
yes, I can read.
The reason that this happened was because and he still hasn't finished this book. But Tommy was reading Jay-Z's book for like 3.5 years.
at
And
this
I was
point,
like,
at this point, it's almost 10 years. I've been reading this
no,
book.
you started that book before me.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, so it's
It's
10
been
plus.
more than
It's
10
10 plus.
years.
Still ain't finished that book. I still
It was
got it
like
though.
3 years. He was like, I'm reading this book. And every time he said, I'm reading the book, I would go check on him like he was sitting in the bed reading it. And he'd be on the same page. And I'm like, he don't know how to
Look,
read.
I fell asleep. That's what happened. I fell asleep, man.
But let me tell y'all, Audible has been working for him.
Man, I done went through some audibles.
Like he had to borrow some of my credits.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause he be listening to these books. But my goodness.
Reading them. I've actually finished a few like that. I just sat down and read.
Mhm.
Like I've actually done that. But
I read a book
Jay Z
last week.
decoded. Jay Z decoded book is not a bad book.
It was bad for you.
It just I just hadn't finished it. That's it. Well,
Oh, life. Well, no, I won't tell everybody until next weekend.
what's that?
Her.
Oh, yeah.
Wait until after it happens. We can share a photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's get right into it, man. This week, some dumb stuff happened, some good stuff happened. Great documentary happened.
You gonna start there?
Let's start there. I don't know if you guys, and this is a spoiler alert, but I don't know if you guys have seen the Kirk Franklin documentary called Father's Day. It's a prelude to his album that's coming out in October, titled Father's Day.
I'm thankful that it was a short
Yeah, yeah.
documentary.
35, 36 minute
Yeah.
documentary. Great timing.
We got
Um,
every frustration. Sandra,
oh my God. Aunt Sandra. Is it Sandra or Sandra?
whatever her name is, the auntie,
I always get confused by
her
that.
and her sister Deborah
Yeah. Yeah. But
was on my nerves.
man. But you haven't heard about it, Sharon? First off,
Let me see if I can find the link and then I'll
first
put it in here.
yeah, first off, good morning, Irene. Um, the cinematography behind it, and of course, I'm looking at that stuff, right? Like,
Mhm.
oh, this is beautiful. This is, just made beautifully, right? Um, Parts of it I thought Kirk Franklin was acting.
Mhm.
Like the part with essentially it's a yes, man. Okay, blow it.
My coffee hot.
Okay, let it keep blowing and let it cool. Um, so essentially, the documentary is about him finding out um about his dad,
Yeah, so Kirk was adopted by a lady named Gertrude.
which I did not know he was
I
adopted.
knew he was adopted. I didn't know any information about Gertrude, but I knew he was adopted. Adopted by a lady named Gertrude. Um, Knew who his mom was, didn't know who his dad was. Years ago, a man that he thought was his dad came into his life. He tried to have a relationship with him. The man passed away. He later finds out because of a funeral of his mother's sibling. I can't remember if it was a brother or a sister. That's why I'm just saying sibling. That a man showed up to the funeral. This man allegedly looks like Kirk. They took a DNA test. He the daddy.
Yeah. Good morning, Linda.
But it takes you through
Emotions.
the emotional roller coaster of this is this man say he my daddy, DNA test, reconciling with his mom about his dad. And I can't reconcile is not the correct
Yeah,
word.
yeah. Confronting is more so.
Confronting, you are
Confronting his
right.
mom is more
Confronting
so.
his mom is more so the correct word to use about her lies in the situation. But overall, very well told like
Story.
story.
Yeah,
He said that this was the first time he had ever had a camera crew follow him while he was making an album.
yeah, yeah.
And you never think about how, like, I don't want to say valuable as in like financially valuable, but like how valuable having that type of footage is
Mm-hmm.
because it literally takes you right back to that place. Because
Good morning, Miss Tillman. Me too.
I remember watching Beyonce talk about her and Jay-Z recording Drunk in Love. And like they were recording them
Yeah,
recording the
yeah,
song. And just like the emotions on her face when he said one verse was like you get to be brought back to that moment when she first heard it.
yeah,
Right. And so Kirk having this documentary gets to take him and future generations
yeah.
back to this moment of him finding out about his dad. Um,
And that happened this year.
mhm.
Everything was
I
2023.
wonder what the album was going to be called,
He probably didn't have a title for it yet.
and what the direction for the project was going to be prior to
Man,
finding out. What's the man name, Mr. Rick?
yeah.
Before I find out Mr. Rick was his daddy.
I just think just the emotional reactions to be had, right?
Hmm.
I always find those things to when telling a story. Those are the important parts to me in the story. What's the feeling?
Hmm.
Because shock value is you were adopted. You didn't find you like the man that you thought was your dad has died. You've made peace with the missing part of being a dad. Now come to find out, um, it was actually another man that was your dad.
Hmm. And Mr.
And
Rick didn't look like he lived a bad life.
no, he looked like he lived a pretty decent life, and done pretty well for himself.
Hmm.
But then you're like, well, how does that make you feel? That's the part of the story that makes the story intriguing because it's so many different ways that you can feel,
Hmm.
right? Because you're
You have
also
relief.
right. You got relief that you know for sure, right?
Hmm.
That this man is my daddy.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, it's well, he's been missing.
Mhm.
for so long. And then on top of that, it's well how he didn't know, you know, and you start going into these other questions and emotions that you have.
Mhm.
And I think with the documentary, it showed enough.
Mhm.
It showed where, oh, okay, he cried here, or his response to things. How some people can just shut down
Right.
when they find out a bit of shocking news and don't express how they feel, but they were able to actually sit down and talk to each other. And I think one of the most mature things that Mr. Rick did was said, hey, I'm willing to have whatever relationship you want to have with me on your time.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times people will look at the situation and be like, trying to put themselves here, we got to do this, this, and this.
Mhm.
And he was just like, whatever you want to do, you let me know. Because you're the important part of this whole thing. But his mom had pissed me off.
Deborah, because
Deborah.
I'm not calling her his mama. Gertrude was his mama.
Gertrude was his mama. Deborah pissed
Deborah.
me completely off.
When Deborah said that neither one of them DNA tests was right,
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on now, Deborah.
Mhm. I was just like, I've had an experience with DNA,
You have.
and
You also had two DNA tests that said the
yeah,
same thing."
yeah, I did, I did,
I know. I was there.
and
I got the results for one of them.
like when it say 99.9, the only reason it don't say 100% because nothing in this world is perfect, so it can't say 100%. But
I never
having
knew
all the
why I didn't
nines,
say 100, but it
having
99 is enough for me.
99.99 is 100%
Mhm.
rounded.
Mhm.
So
And yours says 0.
man, that was the best and worst news at the same time
Man.
ever.
Sandra,
But it's not
though,
about me.
it's not. That's why I was changing it back to Sandra. Sandra, now, okay, as a Southerner, right? We definitely get caught up in the titles thing
Yeah, yeah,
because, like, for example, my dad's side of the family, you don't have, like, he did not call his parents mom and dad. He
yeah,
called them by their first
yeah,
names. My mother was very adamant that they were grandma and granddad
yeah,
when I was growing up.
yeah,
So we all have the Sandras in our families or in our like circle group that's like, that's disrespectful. I'm like, this man is 53 years old, and for 53 years, you have not been a great aunt to him.
okay.
Okay. Lily needs to come hug me. Okay, I
Watch
hugged her
that cup.
titty.
Um,
Okay, come sit with me.
yeah. We like that's crazy that we all like as a southerner, like the importance of titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for like the kids can't call me Tommy.
Mm-hmm. Lily be trying it though.
She does. She does. We can be
Cause she
quickly.
literally came in there the other day and was like, "I want to go in Tommy's room." I was like, "I'm sorry, who?"
She got to be talking about her brother. She ain't talking about me.
You're stuck. I'm scoop. I'm scoot
She
all the way
told you to
back.
scoot over. She like you big in this chair. Scoot over.
Let me fix myself so she can be comfortable.
Man, but no, like it's
Mm.
it's
You
it's a
good now?
thing that you haven't I feel like I've done enough to earn the respect of the title dad.
Okay. Mhm.
Now if I hadn't, then I can kind of understand it. You calling me by my first name, but me earning the title of actually being there
Let's
and
sit right
being
here.
dad, you got to call me by my title
Mhm.
because I worked for
Well, I mean, so it's very important that they know who we are, like outside of mom and dad,
it. Yeah,
our names.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. That's just
That
what
it's
she say. Hold on, I'm making it bigger. I understood where she was coming from, but like you said, he 53 and they don't have a relationship. I just feel like she was being petty. She
like
was.
when she opened the door, it was like, "Get your ass out this truck, man! This is a grown man."
First and foremost, I asked you to do one thing.
Right, sign
Sign
the
this
paper.
paper.
You can't be on this documentary if you don't sign this paper, because that's what it was.
I know. And I'll be in there when your sister get here,
Right.
and both of y'all have signed the paper and turned them into my
Yeah,
people.
because I don't want to deal with you or that, and I want to keep the peace.
So I have, or I had, she passed away this year. I had one aunt that we didn't have to call aunt.
Yeah.
Like, we just call her by her nickname. Whole life.
Yeah.
That's just who she's been. But most of my aunts and uncles have been that way, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm not 53, but I got 50 plus cousins. So fall in that realm. Why you
Oh,
make a face
I
like
was like,
that?
you got 50 plus because of the age. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. I got
Oh, it's almost 40 some of us, so it ain't that far off
you.
from
Yeah.
50. As far as first cousins are concerned. Okay. You don't want
You
to
don't
sit
want to
with
sit with
that?
dad?
Okay, well sit back
Okay,
in my
sit with
lap.
sit with mommy.
But no, I don't feel like anybody at this age is like, you need to call me this. But we all do it as a, for the ones that we do call uncle or aunt, we do it as a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Like, cause none of
you.
my aunts or uncles ever said you need to call me aunt or
First, I
uncle.
one of your uncles, I didn't change his name completely.
Yeah.
We were in the Bahamas, and I legitimately changed this man's name and had people
Man, that was so
on the
funny.
cruise
That
ship with
was so
us
funny.
call him by a different name. Okay, Teddy gets a hug and a kiss.
But it's interesting though, like that's how she presented herself to him.
Hmm.
And he corrected her too. It's like, hey, that's the last time you're gonna do that. I don't know if it meant anything, but
Well, it does if I'm not talking to you
it's
anymore after
it's
this.
yeah. It's almost as if she was trying to
Okay.
prove some type of dominance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Some type of dominance over him
Mhm.
because of who he is.
Mhm.
And to me that's silly.
Mhm. He
Because
black.
if he wanted to, he could possibly change your life.
Mhm.
If he wanted to.
White.
Um but yeah,
You tell me.
Aunt Sandra or Sandra, by the end of the documentary, she was like, "Come on, Deborah."
One of my friends from high school was like, "Good morning to everybody except Deborah and Sandra."
I'm just saying, it was like,
Okay. Will you go sit with your tablet, please?
it
Thank you.
was like, Lily,
Is she
go
like,
ahead,
that's me?
go ahead, yeah, go ahead. Oh Lord, all right, finish my
I
statement.
don't remember what your statement was.
Come on, man.
How you gonna tell me to finish it and you don't know? What were you talking about?
What you say, bro?
I said, what was your sentence? I don't know.
It was just them, like Sandra and Deborah.
Oh, at the ending, Sandra looks over at Deborah and was just like, "Come on now." I It really makes me want to know what exactly happened that Rick never came up over all these years as a possible father. Like, what about Deborah's life did she block out that she didn't want um Rick to be his daddy, because she still don't want Rick to be his daddy.
Like,
And that's just wild to me.
the thing that I don't get is like how like as I say all the time, what MD you got behind your name to doubt the science?
Yeah, I put it down.
You know?
I don't know. And the medical doctor called and was like, "Let me give you the results because you know
Yeah.
she
I
did the
mean, like
test."
they know how to read it and stuff. So
Mhm.
um it-
And we know that, like, I've my experience with DNA has been finding out more about my family
yeah.
because so many of my family members were Kirks. They were adopted.
Yeah.
And unlike Kirk, they didn't know much about their biological parents.
Hmm.
Yes, Lily.
Lily thinks she's slick. She trying to talk in the mic. You
She
seen
is.
her?
She leaned in. Okay. Okay.
Lily is funny.
Um,
Um,
what were you saying?
yeah, like I don't know. I was finna end our talk about this documentary because
Okay.
I think I stretched it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, no, I think overall, man, it was a great documentary. Great insight on um something he found out.
Okay.
Something he found out about himself and his family.
It's in your room.
It's in your room, Lily. Your room.
It's
Your
in your
room.
room.
Go do what you want to do,
Go
man.
ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Um,
It's in your
it's in
room.
your room.
It's on your bed. She's like, my blanket's gone.
Dog, if I ain't gonna listen,
Was a
was a
person.
person, it'll be Lily. But yeah, so great documentary. If you haven't seen it, go look at it, man. Just the cinematography behind it is wonderful. So
What'd she say? I was wondering the same thing. I know she was young, but I was really just baffled by that as well.
I don't know what you want, man. Go figure it out.
She wants the blanket down here.
You need help with what?
Go ahead and go to the next thing.
But yeah, go check it out. It's on YouTube on Kirk Franklin's. I think Artika put the link to it in the chat up here. So go check it out when you have an opportunity. Dog, everything got dark when she left. um, and it brightens up again.
Girl, come on.
Man, we heard Lily like open the door at 8:15. We was like, okay, we gonna have a time today.
And it wasn't just that she opened the door. She like bust through the door.
Yeah. All right. So next thing on our doc, we can talk about Nicki Minaj's husband.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Man, this man, Nicki Minaj's husband. The history behind him is he's a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he did, but he did something sexual to somebody.
Um, Underage RAPE.
Okay, so he did that.
Oh, let's add a layer to that. Nikki and her people were threatening the victim,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
trying to get her to drop the case. We
Yeah.
can't forget that because Nikki's not innocent in this
Yeah.
at all.
And
Now,
so,
continue your part.
so his that was his history. So we know he makes bad decisions, right? So
Okay.
over the weekend
Of the VMAs.
of the VMAs, um, first he threatens Offset for whatever reason. I don't know the reasoning behind him threatening Offset, but he gets on Instagram and says, all these threatening, violent things about what he's gonna do to Offset if he see him, blah blah this, blah blah that, blah blah this. Offset, in the meantime, has spent time with Kai Cenat. We talked about him a few weeks ago. He's
That's
a
the one that got arrested.
yeah, he's a Twitch streamer
Mm-hmm.
who's huge, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, they had an overnight slumber party,
Mm-hmm.
and they was just streaming all night, dancing. At one point, they was cooking hibachi.
I want
They
I
dancing.
want that life. I've really been looking at this hibachi grill for outside,
Yeah,
and I was like,
I'll be sitting up there trying to figure out how to do the tricks and stuff.
the problem is how our backyard
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It would be a lot to maneuver it.
But wait till I build the little patio thing
I,
and level everything off. Man, we can set up whatever we want out there.
I know, but they don't
And
stop me
then I'd
from
be like,
wanting it
man,
now.
we need a little bit more. So
they
let
they don't
me
stop
get
me from wanting it right now.
let me get a few more inches on this side. Now that I know how to do it, like that's something I'm like confident that I can do.
Oh, okay, well, we got to finish one more project
Man,
before
we
you
do,
get there.
we do this fence. But No, but so he's on online
When this fence
streaming.
gets done, I'm gonna be outside like Tommy, Tommy.
So he's like streaming with Casanat, having a good old time. We saw him at the Colorado game against Colorado State. Um, he did the VMA, and then this just comes out randomly, right?
Mhm.
So first saw anything about it. I said getting off a plane, talking about, man, I'm getting off this private plane, man.
Oh yeah, because they were standing outside asking him where he at,
Yeah,
like he was afraid
yeah.
to see them.
And so, him saying that this man, Nicki Minaj's husband, I don't know this man's name,
Kenneth.
Kenneth, uh, has now been put on house arrest
4 months.
for
No, we're
four
not going to Home
months.
Depot.
Goodness, man.
I'll tell you
Only,
later.
only to like,
I'll tell you later.
do you know why he like the whole thing started? Like,
Oh, because
what was the thing?
he's originally from New York. Married Nikki, moved to. No, I'll tell you later. Okay. Um, he failed to register as an offender when he moved from New York to LA.
Mm,
So when he failed to register as an offender, they said it was on purpose. I think he may have gone back to jail for that, and he's on probation from that.
oh,
Who? No. She trying to guess where we going today.
no.
She like, we're going to Home Depot. We're going to Target. Marshalls?
We go to home. That's a new one. We go to home.
No, we're not going to Marshalls.
See, we go to Home Depot a lot, man. Cause we was on our way to the school. She was like, "Where we going? Home Depot."
Okay.
But what happened?
Um, he was outside with his friends who are also felons, and the the I guess the parole officer got wind of it and was like, "Not today."
Yeah, the one thing I don't.
I'm gonna go buy you some breakfast, okay? All right. Yeah, you can ride with me.
That's too funny, man. Um,
Come get her, Danny. She can go to Target and Marshalls with you whenever she
okay,
wants to.
okay,
Matter of fact, when I come home, I'm gonna come drop her off at the door. She can
yeah,
have
yeah.
double the fun with the twins.
Um, thank you.
You tag that.
But I just
We was just talking about you calling her Lily.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm it. Okay, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, like it's so silly. It's a very silly thing that he did, and it was stupid. I heard him.
Huh. Go check on your brother.
No, you go see what he doing. Um, it's finna be quick. So like it
She was
was
gonna be down here, baby up.
yeah. I was trying to figure out like what was his end goal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Like I don't understand the start of it because it's like one, that you on okay, you know that you're on parole,
Mm-hmm.
and anything you do can possibly land you back in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, like what's I don't understand why Nikki won't be like, bro, chill out.
Hmm. Okay, go in there with him. My phone. Streaming. Uh-huh. It doesn't make any sense for why this all started. And it's like this was a beef between Nikki and Cardi. And it's really Nikki's beef because Nikki just can't deal with the fact that, there's another rap girl. That's how I feel about it, anyways. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. And Sharon, you're absolutely right. Lily has a lot of energy this morning. I made her stay up like an hour past bedtime last night because she's going on an adventure today that she doesn't know about. So I wanted her to already have her bath, have her hair done, and be ready to go this morning. And she popped up out that bed and like took off. And yes, Miss Tillman, his last name is Petty, and I don't think like I think that he has missed the pettiness of this aisle, and it has just turned stupid at this point.
Yeah. I just I'm honestly like, how why did Nikki marry this guy? Like, what was the thing?
I
Like,
don't
I would
know.
love to be like, what keeps y'all married?
Nikki has made some very questionable choices with men. Just two of them. This current husband and Safari. And I guess maybe Safari wasn't a questionable choice when she didn't have money,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just been ridiculous
Yeah.
since his bout of fame.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's all I have for them.
Yeah.
It's just it hasn't made much sense, and he had no need to join in this whatsoever.
I just thought about the bright side, right? Bright side is it draws more attention to Offset, and he has an album coming out in October as well. So go check that out. But I thought
All it's gonna be is a whole bunch of
that's what I thought about. I thought about humming, 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 humming. But I like him
Mama.
though. I like him though.
You know what? His presence used to really annoy me
Oh yeah,
because he used to come to my job all the
yeah,
time, and they would just sit there, and I'm like, first off, y'all smell like y'all just been rolling around in weed, and he's a person who stares at you.
yeah,
So I don't know if he does it to like make people feel uncomfortable.
yeah,
So he would stare at me, and I would stare back at him, and then he'd laugh after a while, like she crazy.
yeah.
I am.
She is, she is. Um, that's funny as I don't know what, man. But shout out to him, man. He's like he's out here living. I just wish him and Quavo would can come to an agreement and work together like they used to. Cause I'm a fan of the Migos.
They have terrible stage presence.
Oh, it's awful. But
I never
I
want to see. I'm granted I can't see the Migos as they were.
oh
I
man,
can
I
say
hate
that
that.
I did see the
Yeah,
Migos
yeah,
before he died,
yeah.
but
Was killed.
he still
But
died.
yeah, I know. He's not with us. But
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
And he was the best one. I'm gonna say it. He was the best one lyrically. I think Takeoff.
I don't know what any of them were
I
saying.
think Takeoff was the best lyrically. But
Literally, the things that I can verbatim say that they said was, "Who said I got left off bad and bougie?"
bad and bougie. And then after that part, I'd be like, "Du-du-du-du-du-du."
Exactly.
but
Humada, humada,
but
humada.
I'm not good with lyrics anyway.
You not.
Uh, moving right along, man. The saddest thing that I've heard about. Cops find narcotics beneath trapdoor at Bronx daycare after 1-year-old dies of suspected fentanyl poisoning.
So I found out that that baby had been going to that daycare for less than a week, or right at a week.
Oh
So
no.
very new to this situation, and apparently the daycare owner and her family member, I don't remember the relation, I think it was a cousin, were dealing drugs out of the daycare. And the kids found the daycare. Four of them, I mean, found the drugs. Four of them got rushed to the hospital. One of them
One
died.
died.
And it's a really sad situation, but it's also even more infuriating
Yeah.
because why did you think that that was okay?
Right. Right. And of all that, like that's the thing that I think about a lot, right? Um, is that why fentanyl, right?
Mhm.
Like because every case of fentanyl,
Mhm.
I feel like I'm not saying that right.
I don't know. I'm country fit now.
Fentanyl, every case of it, you hear about somebody dying, and then the crazy part was I didn't the first time hearing about this. Michael Jackson. That's how Michael Jackson was killed.
Mhm.
Um, and that's the first time. And then now it's a street drug that basically puts me in the mindset of DMX off that movie. I don't think it was Belly where he gave the girl battery acid and it killed her.
I don't think I ever saw DMX act.
You haven't.
I don't think so.
It was amazing.
That don't mean I saw it.
Romeo Must Die. I think he was in that.
Never saw it.
I don't think it was
I remember
Belly.
the song Back in One Piece.
Yeah,
Him and
I
Aaliyah.
don't think it was Belly, but it was some movie. He was a drug dealer,
I tried to watch Belly
and
and
the
it was
girl.
just too dark.
Yeah, I like Belly.
And I felt like I was squinting all the time.
Yeah,
And I was like, I can't watch this.
I never saw Belly too.
Maybe I'll try to watch Belly.
Yeah, you still need to watch Soul Play.
I have seen Soul Plane.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was the movie that we got?
Paper Soldiers.
Paper Soldier. You never saw that.
I've seen Soul Plane. I've seen Soul Plane a lot of times.
Soul Play was so funny to me
Because it was one of those things that BET would just
yeah,
play.
yeah,
And if you just leave your TV on,
yeah.
you get back into
yeah.
it for like the 17th time.
Right, right. But no, it puts me fentanyl puts me in the mindset of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna replace the drug that you actually want with this other drug that will kill you
Mm-hmm.
once you take it. So it's like, why are you selling this, knowing that this comes with a bigger sentence
Mm-hmm.
if caught?
Right.
You know, and then on top of everything else, you're at a daycare
Right.
with babies.
Mm-hmm. No.
Nah, just watch that. We'll be up there in a minute. Watch. She tell me no one more time. I'm a boxer.
Really?
We gonna move the table. That was so funny.
Obviously not gonna happen.
Yeah, that was so funny in college, man. That's how we.
Y'all used to really fight.
No, we didn't fight. We would move the table though and like tussle.
That's a fight.
That's not fighting. We would have a wrestling match. Nobody's coming off the top rope, but we've had to move.
Did
the
y'all
table.
were y'all mad at each other at the end?
Like
of it?
we was discussing something and we disagreed.
Something like what?
You want to move the table?
Give me something. Give me an example. Because you say, do you want to move the table all the time?
I can't remember. Like we didn't do it all the time, right?
You know what I'm saying? But you say it all the time.
We said it all the time. You trying to move the table? That means you try to handle this in a gentleman-like way.
Never got to tussling with any of my roommates.
Me and Reggie did it a couple times. I think me and Mutt got the tussling once or twice.
All your roommates were much taller than you too.
Yeah, but I was stronger than a lot of them.
Okay.
You know. Yes.
No.
No. Go see what your brother doing. No. Go check on him. You're his watcher right now. She, I thought about it the other day. I was like, one day we're gonna ask her to watch him by herself.
Yep. One day.
That's gonna be interesting. But no, what were we talking about today, Kate? Like we just like my whole thing, right? Is we have to protect our babies.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and the thing with that is that you don't think that putting this child in a daycare, hopefully a registered daycare. I'm gonna assume that that's
okay,
what it was.
There, man. Go do what you want to do.
Okay. You don't think that putting your kid in a daycare is going to turn deadly, right? And it's just a really sad situation.
It is. Man.
I was talking to my mom about that because I've been considering Quad going to daycare. I don't have your teddy. Go find it. I don't know. It's yours.
Is it in the room?
Go look in my room.
Go look in my room. And take your blanket. And stay up there. Take your blanket and stay up there.
I was talking to her about
now, don't
possibly
come back
putting.
Till I come get you. I'm gonna come get you. So don't come back until I come get you.
I was telling her that I wanted to possibly put Quad in daycare, and I was telling her that I would love to find a home-based daycare
in my room
because there will be less kids, get more individual focus with him. And this just, it's always like every time you think
Go back
Okay,
in there.
I can do this.
Go back in there.
The very next thing, Lily, could you please sit right there? Thank you. Just stay right there. Y'all are really over here arguing with each other. You right in the mic,
My bad.
arguing
My
with her.
bad, people.
um, it's like it makes you want to just be like, no, my kids are the safest with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it keeps you from being able to do other things, but it's like at least you know that the human that you gave birth to and you're expected to take care of,
Mm-hmm. You doing what you're
you're doing
supposed to
what you're
do.
supposed to do with them.
It's like that's the hard part for us being so far away from. No.
Just let her see it,
Okay, come on.
please. You said that's the hard part about being away from family.
Yeah.
No,
Like grandparents. You
yeah,
know.
because if we lived near my mom, absolutely would never have to like send Lily or Quad to daycare. The kids probably wouldn't even go to school from our house. My mama would be like, put them in the school by my
Yeah.
house, and I
Where's the
walk her to
tablet
school
over
every
there?
day. But
Use the
that's
tablet over
just
there.
how my mom is. And that's honestly how I had it growing up because I my mom took me and my god brother to school every day, and his mom picked us up from school every day.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where that's how it worked out. And when you don't have the village or the village doesn't have the access to be able to do that, you do have to end up putting kids in daycares, but you just never expect that these types of things are going to happen in a daycare that you're paying money for.
Yeah.
It's just it's really it's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Um I bet that's like the bright spot of your day being able to see him every day.
What's that?
Because I know like we want to send we well, Lily has gone to my mom's house for a couple of weeks for the last 2 summers. And
Go ahead.
in the future, I know that it's gonna be harder on my mama having both of them,
Yeah.
especially. What I,
Go
can
ahead.
can you hold my hug for later? I've hugged you like 18 times this
Man, I was
morning.
just like, God, leave, man.
Okay. Okay.
Man, she just wants everything, man. God, leave.
Okay. All right. I don't.
Goodness, man.
Okay, play your game. Anywho,
If I don't care what y'all doing, it was a person.
I think I'm done with this story because I don't even remember my
Yeah.
train of thought
Yeah.
with it. What else did we have in
Last thing I had on
there?
here was
Hey, hey,
Dion
can you be quiet for a minute?
Dion Sanders did an
Thank you.
interview with 60 Minutes um this past, I think Sunday, I think. I don't know when 60 Minutes come on, but it was this past week.
Lily is the guest host this week, but she is not talking about any of the topics at hand.
No, she's not. Oh,
Go ahead.
what was I finna say?
I don't know.
Oh, Deion Sanders, 60 Minutes interview. Deion, like, all jokes aside, I think Deion Sanders' presence anywhere, he's that type of person that you want to hang around and be around and root for.
Mhm.
I think he gets a lot of slack because of what's that?
Not Lily leaning into the mic.
Man,
We'll come downstairs every so often and she'll just be sitting here and singing random songs
yeah.
into the mic. Nothing's plugged up, nothing's turned on. She just
Let's
singing.
not talk about singing, so she don't start
Okay.
singing. But yeah, so Deion Sanders, his presence is, he's somebody that you want to be
Mm-mm.
around because it's a
You
good
don't need
time.
to.
We're gonna have a good time with Deion, right? And he gets a lot of flack for being himself, for being who he is and doing what he does.
The actually I would listen to the interview over your shoulder, parts of it anyways. Prime time is who
Yeah,
he's been.
that was a different one.
Oh, well, I'm saying that
Yeah,
interview, prime time is who he's been. That's the loud in your face personality. And he's like, Dion is actually really not that loud.
Yeah.
I'm really an introvert. I'm like, you could have fooled me.
Yeah, definitely could have fooled me.
But it's just Dion has an infectious personality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people are rooting for him
Yeah.
to win.
Like,
But that's also why people are rooting against him.
yeah, that's the thing because it's like a lot of people are like, oh, he's getting too much attention, like, and they just straight up sound like haters,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you're looking at a person, you're looking at a person who actually put the work in,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people are looking at it from a standpoint of, oh, he just came in, get a head coaching job, and now he's at a Power Five school getting a head coaching job. He told those kids to leave and blase this and blase that. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, like, I didn't follow him when he was at play coach Little League and stuff. But I started watching, like I realized the other day, I started watching Shadur play high school football,
Mm-hmm.
like from the 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching this man play 11th grade, 12th grade, freshman year, sophomore year, and now his junior year of college. So
Mm-hmm.
for 5 years, I've been watching this kid develop and play at the two different levels. Lily, chill. So I've been watching this dude play and he's good.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing from Jackson State to this Power Five was, how does the talent translate? Basically not saying is he's gonna be bad here, but
Okay.
just really saying, okay, how does his talent translate to the next level? Because Jackson State, HBCU is not a Power Five.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not saying that the talent is not there, but it's different.
Right.
And
Well,
they
that's
got a big test
because
this week.
they're not. No, let's not even get into that. The recruiting's different because the finances are different.
But then again, with Coach Prime, it's
Bless
it's
you.
Coach Prime.
Mm-hmm.
His recruiting gonna be different anyway because like me personally, I
Mm-hmm.
grew up knowing, hey, I play football. I wanna do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I played the position, but that wasn't my
Go get
position, right?
go get something to blow your nose.
I didn't play cornerback, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as fast as he
Go
was.
get something to blow your
Go
nose.
go get something to blow your nose, like mommy said.
Go get wipes.
Go get a wipe. It's right there. But I was a fan. I'm a fan of his,
Mm-hmm.
coach and as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So he brings that dynamic to um
Steve said most people
stop,
only
stop.
see the end result
Get
and
down.
complain about how
Get
they
down.
got there without doing the research.
Go ahead.
Lily, go get the
Go ahead.
wipes. Anywho, I don't know where you were going with this. You have anything else to say?
Talking about gonna bring up the fact that Jackson State felt the way about that 60 minutes interview.
Tommy said that Jackson State felt a way about the 60 Minutes interview because they weren't mentioned.
I don't think it was that they was mentioned, but they were pictured in a negative connotation.
Oh, he said that they were pictured in a negative connotation in the interview.
Come here. Come here.
Um, I didn't. I didn't watch the interview because what you were watching wasn't what I was listening
Nah,
to. That was a different interview.
different interview. But the coach from TC Thompson,
TC.
I don't think it's TC, but the coach from Jackson State, he was
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, that's not how it is here in Jackson. If you was a person from Jackson, you would actually know that."
What was said about? He said that the coach said that they weren't from. If you were from Jackson, you would know that it's not like
But
that
I
in
think
Jackson.
they were saying or trying to say
Miss
that.
Tillman said it was the comparison of living in Boulder versus
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have to be different.
Right. They're two different places, two different
And I say that they automatically have to be different because the South in general has its own like set of issues, right? And then Boulder, I don't know much about Boulder in general, but I just know that it has to be different. Like even just the demographics of Boulder, Colorado demographics. Just what you'll see outside of the school, which from going to college in Knoxville, the city was very different from the campus, and even more so from our bubble of campus. So I can imagine that it's very different. It says that it's Boulder, Colorado is 89.5% white. Jackson, Mississippi
It's 85% black.
is 82% black. And that's just the city. Like we're not including the suburbs
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
stuff. So it's the inverse racially.
yeah.
So it is going to definitely be different. And I'm going to imagine that this person who lives in Jackson, coaches in Jackson, and is likely from Jackson is not, or from the state of Mississippi, has not ever lived in Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that it's different,
It's an
duh,
understatement. Yeah,
duh, and you don't know how different.
but they tried to put a. I guess it was taken negatively.
Hmm.
You know, the thing that I've always stood by was Deion Sanders leaving HBCUs puts HBCUs back to the times before. Because if we realize we haven't seen many HBCU games like we did last year,
Hmm.
it hadn't been a lot of talk about HBCUs, even though TSU played Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Um, they got mollywopped, but they
Hmm.
played Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like you can appreciate it, but it's just the talent pool is different.
Hmm.
You
It's
know,
not even just that the talent pool is
sit
different.
down. No,
The
no,
willingness of the
no,
talent pool, because when you say that you have
no.
all of these people, right, that are able to be recruited for said sport, as I'm taking it away from football, just in general, you have all these student athletes that are willing to be recruited
Give me, give me her blanket.
to play this sport. And when you have all of these willing and able talents, there's going to be people who don't want to go too far away from home.
Yeah,
You're always going to have those that are looking at the financial bottom line of what can they give me as far as my scholarships and stuff are concerned. So you have a whole bunch of different options of schools to attend, but you have to make the best choice for you. And sometimes that best choice is literally just that they have your program.
yeah. Steve, that was a $30 million reason. That
But
man
when
left
do
because
we
they was
hold
gonna give him
HBCUs
thirty
accountable?
million dollars, and he wasn't gonna have to give them. I think he was making like 300,000 or something like that. Right there, right there. Park it
I
right there.
don't exactly know what his reason was
That's man. If
for entertaining other options, because before you get ready to entertain the other
mm-mm,
option, I mean before there's
mm-mm.
a dollar amount on the table, you have to
You have to,
decide
yeah,
that I'm going to entertain other options, right?
yeah.
So don't know what the reason was for
Okay,
the entertaining of the other options, but I know there was also other things at play in Jackson.
yeah,
Like Jackson has had a water crisis.
yeah.
He was spending money out of his own pocket. There was also information that was said about him supposed to be getting like a kickback for
Mm-hmm.
tickets sold, and he wasn't getting that. So I don't.
Like it's funny, man. When you talk about Deion Sanders, it's two ways you can look at it. Always, right?
Mhm.
And you look at the situation in Jackson State, that just wasn't a good. It was a great situation for attention drawn to HBCUs where we didn't get attention at, right?
Mhm.
But the situation wasn't a good situation for him because essentially he was losing money.
Mhm.
you know, and us as people that go to work, go to the job. If I'm in a situation where I'm losing money, I'm leaving,
Hmm.
regardless of how it affects you as your business and as a overall.
That's like the conversation that's in a couple of these Facebook groups that I'm in, just from the regular average person's financial situation. If I have a job that I
Mm-mm,
have to go to the
n-
office
not
for
now.
that's paying me, let's just use
Be quiet.
round numbers, right? Easy
Mm,
numbers. $20 an hour. Have a job that's in the office paying me $20 an hour, but I can make $19 an hour and work from home.
not right now.
I'm saving more money
Right.
by not leaving the house every day
Yeah.
because I have everything there with me. And not to say that that was Dion's situation, but if you're bleeding money out, even in the best financial situation, you're going to be like, nah,
Yeah.
I got to go from
Yeah.
this.
I mean, and I hate to say it like this, but I think he's in a great place. Excuse
Miss Tillman said he talked about how when these HBCUs play these big schools, it often ends up costing them money because they don't do the research and handle business appropriately.
me. Yeah. Um.
I know that he pulled Jackson State out of the Southern Heritage Classic, which
hmm,
I'm sure wasn't costing them that much money because it's not that far of
Go
a
upstairs and shut it.
hike for going to Memphis. But
What
could
going
they
on
have
here?
had the money and stayed home and spent less
Shh,
on a
shh, shh,
home
shh.
game that same weekend? Possibly.
Hush.
But then when you get ready to do the
No.
option of playing a bigger school, you need to make sure that it's financially sound because I know that a lot of larger schools pay smaller schools to they pay smaller schools to play them. And so they look at it as an investment into their program to go get beat.
Yeah. Like it's the wildest thing, and I hate that people are looking at Deion Sanders in such a negative light, or some people, just because if let's take the sunglasses thing, right?
Mhm.
This man, uh, the coach from Colorado was like, I take my sunglasses and hat off, and
Mhm.
Deion Sanders does a collaboration with I think Blenders
Mhm.
and sells $1 million in a day worth of sunglasses.
It was
I
up to
think it
like
was
four
over 4 million.
million. And that was on pre-sale. Like these people are not getting this stuff shipped to them this week.
Right. So I'm like, he has that type of clout, basically,
Mhm.
to be able to sell something out. And it's like, how do you hate on that? I would think, and I know this is the way that I think. If he can do it, I can do it. I just need to figure out how he did it.
Mhm.
You know, what did he do? And he's such a we're talking about arguably the greatest football player to play. He's in that when you think about goats
Mhm.
that played football, he's in the conversation,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so if you're a football fan, you know who Deion Sanders is.
Mhm.
And nine times out of 10, you're rooting for him to be successful because of prime, right?
Mhm.
Now you do have some people that hate just because they don't like people to be too successful.
Mhm.
And I don't get that, but I get it, to a certain extent. Um, but this what this man brings. And for you to dislike that, it's like how can you not appreciate what he's bringing to a place where this wouldn't be? Because you think about it, Colorado, before he got there, worst team for the last 20 years.
Mhm.
They're 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
Jackson State, he instantly made a he instantly made Jackson State better.
Mhm.
And as soon as I don't even know what their record is right now, but they've lost the game. I know
Mhm.
that for a fact. Um, so it's that prime prime effect.
I feel like we need music to be like, we're gonna talk about Dion
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
right.
always
It's always about
he keeps
Dion.
coming back up.
He keeps coming back up. He's that it factor. So, but that like I can appreciate him and what he does, and he's more of a person who's not gonna sugarcoat the things. He's gonna do right by people, but he's gonna make sure that he's put in a successful place. So
Hmm.
I hate that Jackson feels if they do, I hate that they would feel any type of way about what he's like him moving on and how like them picking up the slack from where they are. But I mean, it is what it is on that,
Hmm.
you know. Um I just wish them the best.
Hmm. You got anything else for
No,
today? All
no, I
right,
don't, man.
let's get on out of here
Let's
so we can
let's boogie on down the road.
get this show on the road.
Yeah,
Um, we found out Married at First Sight is coming back.
yeah.
We're still trying to figure that out.
We trying to get our schedule together.
Um,
What about the podcast?
I got an episode to release this week.
Yeah. So
I don't know what it's about.
I don't know.
It was recorded like 4 months ago,
Yeah, we recorded a little minute ago.
but figured that out too. So y'all will see something from us this week outside of this coffee break.
Right. Still working on that fence video.
Still working on that
I'm
fence.
a I'm gonna do a tool time with Tommy. That's what my little section of our channel gonna be. Tool time with Tommy.
All right.
And all the things that I fix, build, put together, and know how is gonna be on that channel. It's gonna be on that playlist and that part. So check
Okay.
that part out whenever the videos start dropping with that.
I am yet waiting for this fence to get finished. I hopefully made a deal with him to go
Yeah,
get this gate
yeah,
finished. Bathroom renovations are at a halt. We're gonna finish that though.
yeah. But yeah,
I
that's
even
where
picked
we
out
are.
some flooring.
That's where we
Woo.
are. You guys continue to watch our content, comment, share, join the discussion, man. We enjoy it. Um, Once again, thank you for joining us for this coffee break. Enjoy your weekend. Go do something fun.
Go to Home Depot or Marshalls or Target or
Yeah,
wherever else Lily listed.
yeah.
Cause
Just
apparently
go,
that's where I
get
go all the
out,
time.
do something. And we love you guys. We thank you guys. And we are out.
Bye y'all.
Peace.